Erasmus's field of vision, carrying a blanket slung on poles to make a stretcher. Erasmus looked down again, and his eyes had a light of fever. "Your turn now to be lifted, Cousin Matthew," he said. Words not immediately comprehensible to Paris, though for a moment he felt that he was trembling on the verge of understanding. Then the soldiers began to lift him into the stretcher, his senses swam, and the bright gulls dissolved in the sky above him. Chapter 53. Privileged by his wound, Paris was conveyed as directly as possible to the shore and rowed out to the ship in the late afternoon. Before midnight, both troops and captives had been embarked, and the ship set a course northward for St. Augustine. It was Erasmus's hope that he might avoid the delays of a long sea journey home to England, and the risk of his cousin cheating justice even now by some obscure and private death, by having the people of the crew tried and condemned either at St. Augustine by Campbell, or, if the latter felt this exceeded his competence, by the governor of South Carolina, where the negroes were to be taken and sold. To this end it was important that at least one of the wrongdoers should be persuaded to inform upon his comrades in exchange for a pardon. Erasmus felt that he knew human nature passably well, and did not anticipate any problem here. It would come better from a common seaman, one who had taken an active part. An officer of the ship might be able to claim that he had acted under duress. However, Barton had already proved willing to cooperate, and Erasmus decided to interview him first, so as to establish the facts. The intention once formed, he could not wait for the morning. He had slept little for 2 nights now, and the emotions of that day had exhausted him, but he could not rest. The ship was barely under way when he had Barton shaken awake, where he lay on the open deck, and brought below. There was rum and salt beef and ship's biscuit laid out on the table. Also, close to Erasmus's right hand, a loaded pistol. A soldier, with bayonet fixed, stood outside the door. Barton sat opposite at the table, and a candle lamp lay between them. The former mate wore nothing but a round cap made of rope yarn, the tattered remains of a red silk scarf, and a pair of deerskin drawers, and he shivered like a dog in the warmer air of the cabin. Erasmus poured him a glass of rum, and he swallowed half of it, hissing on an indrawn breath as the warmth spread through him. He took off his cap and laid it on the table beside him. His lank, gingerish hair fell forward round his face. "I know who you are," Erasmus said. "You were mate on my father's ship. You've already answered your name today, and so it will serve no purpose to deny it now. I intend to ask you some questions. If you know what is good for you, you will answer me frankly and fully." Barton raised his head to drink again, draining his glass. The sharp edge of his Adam's apple pricked like a thorn against the loose skin of his throat. "If you're honest with me now," Erasmus said, "I will speak on your behalf when the time comes." Whatever calculations Barton engaged in were of short duration. "I knowed this would happen sooner or later," he said. "I'm a child of misfortune, and no mistake. A man of sorrows I am, and on nodding terms with grief. That is in the good book, sir. I was brought up for better things than what you see now. I can read and write, if you'll believe me. My sainted mother taught me at her knee. But misfortune has been my lot in this life." "You will deepen your acquaintance with grief very considerably, my friend," Erasmus said. "You thus persist in going round and round about things. What befell the ship?" "What befell her?" Barton eyed the rum. Cornered as he was, his sense of theatre did not desert him, and he was not altogether destitute, he now perceived. He possessed knowledge the other needed. How strong the need could be seen from the quality of attention he was receiving, the starkness of interest on the handsome face opposite him. "There is a story in that," he said, reaching to take some of the meat. But he had paused too long. Erasmus struck the table with a blow that made the glasses rattle. "Damn your eyes," he said. "You impudent rogue! You stop your cursed play-acting, or I will shoot you where you sit." "She didn't go down," Barton said in sudden haste. "She never went down, sir. We was blown off our course by a storm that comes in them parts in late summer, what they call hurricanes, but we never sank. That was a stout ship. She was a gallant ship, and every line of her, I was proud to sail on her.